There have been some iconic pops throughout WWE history, from Mankind winning the title in 1999 to John Cena's unbelievable return at 2008's Royal Rumble. However, there have also been some pops which have come completely out of nowhere, and a wrestler that wouldn't normally receive a nuclear pop almost blows the roof off the arena. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 10 of the most surprising pops in WWE. Well, pops nobody saw coming. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. Number 10. Eric Rowan in 2014. On the road to Survivor Series in 2014, John Cena attempted to recruit members of the roster to join his team to take on the Authority. In one of the most unusual reveals imaginable, it was revealed that Eric Rowan had joined forces with Cena and would be a part of Team Cena at the annual Survivor Series. When Rowan made his entrance to join Team Cena, the crowd erupted, and it was without question the biggest ovation of Rowan's career. What helped the segment were Luke Harper's facial expressions, which looked speechless that his former tag partner was going against him in favor of siding with Cena. Rowan would then embark on a brief singles run in WWE, which was received well, as Rowan showed that there was more to his character than being a menacing sheep masking wearing heel. Number 9. La Resistance in 2004. La Resistance were a heel team throughout their WWE tenure, but when Raw aired in Montreal, that changed everything. The opening match of the May 31st, 2004 edition of Raw kicked off with a World Tag Team title match as Chris Benoit and Edge defended their gold against the aforementioned La Resistance. Benoit and Edge received a huge pop, but nobody could have ever predicted just how the crowd would react to Rob Conway and Sylvain Grenier. Upon their theme song hitting, the crowd reacted as if these two were the biggest stars on the planet. The pop was astronomical, and it was apparent that the two hometown wrestlers were overwhelmed with the response. WWE did the right thing in crowning the duo as they would defeat Benoit and Edge to win the titles. The response to this victory was unbelievable, and the duo would even celebrate in the crowd, giving the Canadian fans a moment to remember. Number 8. The Bella Twins in 2018. The Bella Twins are two of the most overhated talents in WWE history, but thankfully their ovation at Raw 25 silenced all the haters. WWE would book a special segment which saw most of their celebrated women's performers in WWE come onto the stage. As expected, talents such as Trish Stratus and Michelle McCool received great ovations, but the Bella Twins' ovation was truly special. The crowd were elated to see Nikki and Brie, and both looked thrilled to be there in attendance. Number 7. Goldust in 2013. The 2013 Royal Rumble was a rather underwhelming Rumble in the grand scheme of things. The Rumble winner, that being John Cena, was incredibly predictable, and it seemed like nobody else had a chance of winning. Whilst the Rumble was lackluster, it did feature a special moment where Goldust received the biggest ovation of his career. Goldust would return as a surprise entrant to confront his brother Cody, and the arena finally knew they had something to pop for. It was a compelling moment, and the crowd ate it up. This reaction highlighted that Goldust was a defined legend in the eyes of fans, and this eventually led to WWE bringing Goldust back for a featured storyline later in the respective year. Number 6. Sheamus in 2022. Sheamus has been one of the most consistent performers in WWE for the past 14 years. However, until 2022, it seemed like Sheamus never received the love and admiration from the fans that he truly deserved. That was until Sheamus wrestled Gunther at the 2022 Clash at the Castle event in Cardiff, Wales. Sheamus went into the match as a heel, but upon his entrance music hitting, it was clear that the UK crowd were going to finally give the former WWE champion his flowers. Sheamus received the biggest ovation of his entire career, and what made it so special was that the ovation was sustained. When the match began, the crowd continued to show their support and appreciation for him with positive chants which Sheamus clearly wasn't expecting. It was an insanely wholesome moment, and following receiving such a flattering response, WWE had no other choice but to turn Sheamus babyface for the first time since 2014. Number 5. Eric Bischoff in 2018. One of the most compelling and entertaining segments of Raw 25 saw WWE honor past general managers of Raw. Names such as William Regal and John Laurinaitis all received positive reactions, but when Eric Bischoff's music hit, it was as if The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin had just appeared. Bischoff received a thunderous ovation from the crowd, and it was nice to see Bischoff getting the respect he deserved. Bischoff was predominantly in WWE between 2002 to 2005, where he had an acclaimed run as GM of Raw. During his time as GM, Bischoff was involved in some excellent storylines with the likes of Austin and John Cena. Number 4. Mark Henry in 2013. The bodywork on offer from Mark Henry in 2011 was truly career-defining. Henry went from a solid mid-card talent to a legitimate main event star who could tell thrilling stories both in his promo work as well as his pay-per-view matches. During this point in time, Henry obtained a confidence that was hard to break, as he was believable as a top guy and fans bought into it. Therefore, in the summer of 2013, WWE made the decision to turn Henry into a babyface, but he would suffer an injury shortly into this run, completely derailing any storylines involving the former world champion. Thankfully though, Henry wouldn't miss too much time away from WWE, as he would make his return to WWE at the Survivor Series pay-per-view. Ryback would issue an open challenge, and it was accepted by Henry. He received the single biggest reaction of his entire career, and it was even the single largest reaction of the pay-per-view itself. Number 3. Christian in 2005. The expression "know your worth" is especially the case when it comes to pro wrestling. Over the years, a number of wrestlers have left WWE as they believed that they weren't pushing them effectively and WWE management weren't responding to what the crowd really wanted. This was the case in 2005 as the WWE crowd firmly decided that it was Christian's time. Christian had truly emerged from Edge's shadow, and his match quality was superb, and he could have good matches with anyone up and down the card. Christian's promo work and charisma was also off the charts, and it was evident that he needed to be the new top heel in the company, but WWE refused to pull the trigger. Christian around this point began to receive career-altering reactions from the crowd, and the first instance of this happening was on the January 17, 2005 edition of Raw. Christian would wrestle Shawn Michaels in Canada, and the reaction was truly a megastar reaction for Captain Charisma. Even though the show was in Canada, Christian had never received a reaction of this magnitude before, and these types of pops continued throughout 2005 before his eventual departure in the summer of that year. Number 2. Jack Swagger in 2014. Jack Swagger was often criticized in WWE for being over-pushed. Swagger won the world title in 2010 without there being a demand to see him in the prestigious role, and the response from the crowd was a sign that he didn't belong in the main event scene. The same can be said for his main event push in 2013, as once again the crowd response was lackluster at best. His lack of charisma was holding him back from forming a connection with the crowd. However, in 2014, Swagger received a pop that stunned everyone, as WWE decided to turn the former world champion into a babyface. On the June 30th, 2014 edition of Raw, Swagger interrupted Russo, and along with Zeb Coulter, the fans reacted positively to him for the first time in his career. As Coulter cut a promo, the fan response got louder and louder, and it was evident the fans were interested in this new side of Swagger. And number 1, Jinder Mahal in 2017. It's been well documented that the majority of the WWE audience hated Jinder Mahal's title reign. The crowd reaction to Mahal wasn't strong, as even as the top heel on SmackDown, the fans just didn't care, as there was a lack of desire to see him in a top role. However, when Mahal took on Randy Orton on the 8th August 2017 edition of SmackDown, he received a reaction that was fitting for a WWE champion. The show was taking place in Canada, and with Mahal being born there, the Canadian fans were going to show their love for the WWE champion. The reaction was fantastic to see, but WWE failed to address why Mahal was getting such a positive reaction, which was a massive shame. Nevertheless, once that week's edition of SmackDown had come to an end, Mahal's pops quickly died back down, and he was getting less than enthusiastic reactions from the fans. But there you have it, folks, the 10 most surprising pops in WWE. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.